Hey, there are some deadlines coming up that are very concerning to a lot of parents about which schools will join this new education system in Houston ISD and which won't. Parents of students at Love Elementary School in Houston ISD, a lot of them are concerned about that school possibly joining the list of new NES schools next year.
Yeah, the district released a list of more than 40 schools set to join the NES model. Love Elementary is one of 24 schools still under consideration. So joining us now to discuss thoughts on the possibility is parent of one of Love Elementary School students, Vicki Hauptman Bryan. Good morning, Vicki.
Good morning.
Oh,
So tell us how you would feel if your child joined an NES, if Love Elementary joined an NES model where your child goes.
Meaning if he was still at the campus, if it joined an NES model?
Yes.
Okay. Well, first, if Love goes NES, I will look at every other option for schooling for him because I so adamantly believe that it is not an appropriate model for students, especially for elementary school students, but for any student. I would be incredibly disappointed and very concerned about what would happen to our school and our community, our dual language program, the fact that we wouldn't have a librarian, the fact that our ancillary classes would fundamentally change. All of that would be very upsetting.
So, Vicki, just for people who need a little bit of background on this, there are 40 schools that will be switching to the NES model in HISD. There are some schools that have to do that. They're not given a choice because they received an F rating. Love is not one of those. So supposedly, right, Love principal, you guys get a choice on whether you want to move to the NES model.
Yes, initially when we had our first meeting, because last night we had our second meeting, but when we had the first meeting, they told us that our voices would factor into the decision, that HISD would fundamentally still make the decision. However, last night, and we have this recorded, Dr. Martinez said that it was in fact a decision that was going to be made by Mr. Tellez, our principal, and that decision would be made given campus feedback. So I have a little bit more confidence. I hope that HISD honors that.
You know, I guess what would be so bad if they did go to an NES model? I mean, Mike Miles has shown that in schools that did have an F rating, that the NES model has, you know, improved performance at some of those schools.
But he hasn't shown that. That's not true. He has shown growth in terms of the beginning versus the middle of the year scores. Those NES campuses, by and large, the students had growth on their middle of the year test. That's a national test. It's not the STAR, it's not related. However, HISD as a whole had growth, and you're talking about students who have a lot of opportunity and room to grow. So in terms of what's so bad about the NES model, what it would mean for our campus is that our dual language program would transform. So instead of simply being as it is now, where the kids spend half the day in English, half the day in Spanish, which has been incredible, by the way, for my kindergartner, instead of that, we would have different model that perhaps is 50% instruction over the course of a year. We know that dual language works much better when they have that daily transition and instruction. We know that our librarian would disappear, so students would gut our library.
Right.
And students would have an incredibly difficult time finding books. They have a connection to her. She leads programming. She's incredibly important. We know that our science lab would disappear, which has been just truly one of the most incredible classes. I love our science lab teacher. She's incredible. We know that would go away.
Vicki,
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I know our producer's telling us that we're kind of running out of time, but it sounds like at the heart of this, I mean, there are some very involved parents and obviously teachers who are very concerned about Love and wanting to make sure that the parents and the teachers and the principal has a say in the direction that the school is going. And they've told you that you're going to have that choice. You guys just want to make sure that that is actually going to continue to be the choice of the principal and not the district?
Yes, that is true. We very much hope that they honor what our principal decides for our campus. I am sure that our principal will honor the wishes of the parents. He's an excellent principal. So my concern is also the changes that they say that will come to C and D rated campuses. I don't know if you all saw that information, but I would appreciate knowing
what that
we're
is.
not going to be NES.
Yeah, exactly. And we're out of time right now, but we do want to follow that up, Vicki. We thank you so much because we've sort of been covering, not sort of, we've had a big coverage of focus on Fleming and trying to get, we want to get both sides, not just from the district, but from parents and from the superintendent. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to make sure we follow up to find out what's happening at Love and at all the schools in HISD impacted by this.